Today we get to welcome a new metal tube into the industry, the Rocket 3.2 launch vehicle by Astra, and more importantly, we get to welcome a new CEO to join the Space Lads, an award which is a comparison to the Nobel Prize and possibly even more important. Now with the company of Astra, they prefer to not livestream their testing, which is completely reasonable, so I don't have any footage except for this 1-minute video they shared on Twitter, and I have some photos by John Krause, as well as just these tweets they tweeted out during the launch. Now the goal of this mission was to get to orbit, and they weren't delivering any payloads, they were just trying to get flight data, and they got very close to orbit. They got to 390 kilometers high and to 7.2 kilometers per second, which is just shy of the orbital velocity, which is 7.68 kilometers per second. Now this actual rocket they were using is their Rocket 3.2, and it's only 11.5 meters in height, so it's quite a small vehicle. It uses 5 of their Delphin engines, which are their own development project, and each engine has about 3 tons of thrust, so they're pretty small engines. And then on the second stage, they have their Aether engine, which creates about 1/3 of a ton of thrust. They were launching this rocket out of Kodiak, Alaska, out of the Pacific Spaceport Complex, specifically from pad LP-3B. Now this launch was only their second attempt at making to orbit, so considering how far they got, that is very impressive for a second attempt. Now they shared this footage on Twitter just after the launch, and I'm going to go through it now and analyze what we can see here. Here we can see the water deluge system is firing and the rocket is venting. We can see some liquid oxygen there spilling onto the ground. Then we have the engine ignition and the hold-on clamps will release. The umbilical cords fall away and the rocket ascends. Then we can see it, the first stage there is firing on all engines, and it goes in front of that beautiful Alaskan scenery. We can see that little flare coming out of the bottom of the engine, quite bright, as it ascends up into the clouds. Then we can see here, this will be around where the vehicle is experiencing its maximum dynamic pressure. Then we can see it keep on going up like this. Now we can see this is where the fairing separates, because the entire second stage of this vehicle is underneath the fairing, so once it released it reveals that. Then we can see the ignition of the second stage as it flies away. Then we can see the exact same events happening, but from the perspective of the second stage. So there goes the fairing, there's separation, the engine comes out of the little interstage there, and then it will fire and the rocket goes off. Camera goes out probably because of the vibrations there, and then the video ends, and that's it. Then we also got some photos from them later on of some images taken from the vehicle, and we can see that it shows the Earth probably from around the 390 kilometer altitude that the vehicle ended up in. At the moment of this mission, there isn't really too much to talk about because the details are still coming out pretty fast, so yeah, that's all I really have to talk about. Alright, bye.